Hey everyone, I'm Sven Rajala, and today I've got with me,
Tomas Gustavsson.
and on our Keymaster episode today, we want to talk about standards and interoperability. So Tomas, jumping into it, what makes standards and interoperability so critical?
Well, we wouldn't have the world as we know it without standards and interoperability, right? You couldn't exchange, transfer funds from one country to another, or you couldn't do anything basically. So
And what does a future-ready cryptography actually mean? Because I'm hearing that a lot more around, and I think we should get some dialogue about that to help people.
yeah, I guess the first thing I think about is agility, right? You don't hard code so that you have to change an whole ecosystem to update cryptography, but you have things like in TLS where you have handshakes, so you can actually see what the client and the server supports, and then you can upgrade one at a time. You don't have to upgrade everything, and it's still interoperability, backwards compatible, so you can do software updates as they go, and then things will
So it's really
migrate smoothly.
the agility part again, where we hear that little buzz phrase of crypto agility
Which
per
doesn't
se.
exactly, but which doesn't mean that you can just switch on new encryption without actually doing software upgrades.
Wait, you mean I can't do that? I thought I could. No.
Well, maybe next millennium.
So from a testing, what's been your biggest surprise when you're adding PQC to an existing system? Like what were some shockers or little like epiphanies or,
Yeah, wouldn't maybe call it
buzzkills?
shockers, but I think the first thing was that performance is actually good. We had so many questions in the beginning, which were more tailored. How bad will the performance be?
Yeah, I remember that. Like, oh, it's gonna
Yeah.
slow everything down.
But for most use cases, not everyone, not every use case, of course, we have to be, account for that. But for most use cases, performance is really good, and in many cases, better than it was with RSA. So that's has been a very nice revelation as testing has gone on.
And what about PQC concepts have we learned that we find are more misunderstood by people that we're working with and interacting?
Yeah, one is, I think, related to the previous question, kind of how RSA has always been used, because it can do both signing and encryption. And these new algorithms like MLCAM, right, it's only used for key transport or key exchange. So it cannot encrypt data, and it can definitely not do any signatures, which, some protocols ingrained RSA signing and encryption or key transport, which we cannot do anymore.
Which has been one of the ones I've gotten a few emails about is how do I make a CSR for an ML Chem?
Exactly. You can't according to the standard, right? Because the standard requires a signature. So that's tough. And yeah, maybe also the last thing I would like to not forget on that concept is that everything we've done in the classic world was hash first. A big piece of data, hash it down to 32 bytes or 64 bytes something, and then sign that data. The new algorithms are in general all sign the data. So you have to pass the whole data into this signature algorithm, unless you go for these hash variants, which no one actually likes.
Which that led into another standard with the external mu
Exactly.
because of that concept. So that was another thing that got standardized and really helped with
Or,
interoperability,
well,
or getting standardized, I should say, right?
exactly. Well,
Because it's not in
it's actually part
PKCS11,
of
but
the
yeah,
MLDSA standard, but it's what was done, what it was allowed to extract or break two parts of the signature algorithm apart, so you can do them separately,
which
which was really brilliant
yeah,
and
that way
helpful.
you could actually get things signed by like HSMs, like David had told me they have like a 4K limit in size.
Exactly. Otherwise, it would be a no-go to sign CRLs, for example, with MLDSA. If they have to be only 4K, that's unusable.
Yeah, totally. From all your interop testing, did you find anything unexpected or risks or issues?
I think things that we have been discussing a bit is that, the timeline is really forced in this migration, but that has also kind of spill over on standardization. So standardization is a little bit forced. It goes fast, which is good, of course, that you get standards out there because you need standards in order to do things in production.
Yeah,
But
totally.
if the timeline is shortened, you might miss things. And it kind of relates to the second thing, which is that for some things like TLS, key exchange,
Oh, yeah.
things have been used now in massive scale production level without the standard actually being finally ratified. So that is, it hopefully, or probably it won't lead us to any trouble, but it is a risk that you have to at least acknowledge.
And then where do we maintain our information about interoperability and testing? Because I heard we have a web page now for that,
Yeah,
don't we?
exactly. We have a interoperability page on under our solution area in our public documentation.
Oh, that's where it's hiding. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Hiding in the plain sight, as you say, right?
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting over there to check it out.
It's the same with the also for terminology. We talked about the NIST, of course, have documents specifying terminology for PQC and defining cryptagility and everything. And yeah, there's lots of good documents out there, but sometimes
It's always nice to have a cheat sheet somewhere that you can quickly bookmark and pull up. Cool. Well, guys, that's our little talk on standards and interoperability. We'll see you in the next episode.